We'll see if we're actually live. We'll see if these people understand if we're live or not. Hey, look what we're live. Hey, people, how you doing?
Looky there.
Verwers and Jared Brown. Wait, where are you at? You're on that side.
Okay. I'm on this side. Where am I on this thing? Hi.
We're figuring some stuff out. We're trying to see what's going on. Hey, if you guys are joining us, make sure you say, hey, what's up in the comments below. We love you guys. It's good to see you. I hope you're enjoying seeing our smiling faces. Jared, while I do some housekeeping here, how about you say hey to all the people?
I have no idea who's on here, but hello, all the people. I've missed you. It's been a while. I think it was last week or two. It's like, Josh, man, I'm jonesing. I know we talk to one another over the phone, or we do a video chat, or whatever we need to do, but I miss interacting with the folks. Oh, you guys.
Yes.
Wonder who's going to hop on today.
Logan's here, so he's in the living room watching wrestling.
Oh, the pay-per-view. Oh, yeah.
And then we got Geek Devotions in the house. How you doing, brother? Good to see you.
Hello.
Yes, it is an interesting day. Saying he missed us all. That is good. It's good to be missed. It has been craziness around here. Wouldn't you agree, Jared?
Oh, totally. 100%.
All
craziness.
Sorts of craziness happening. So, I kind of said that what we were going to talk about today is keeping the main thing. Because I think that's the main thing, to keep the main thing.
It should be, at least. Not a minor thing, but a main thing.
Right. We would at least hope that is kind of what's going on. I'm going to adjust my screen here just a second.
I can't wait to see what you mean by keeping the main thing the main thing. I think I know what you mean by keeping the main thing, but like, where are you going to go with this?
Oh, we're going to go everywhere and anywhere with keeping the main thing the main thing. It was actually something Wednesday. Was that last night? Last night was Wednesday?
It was a week ago. It was only last night, but it feels like a week ago.
It does. It does.
True.
So what I noticed was that we were doing our home group last night. And at the home group, one of the things that we were talking about was in Proverbs. And I want to say it's Proverbs chapter 4. Somewhere in there,
which says, I'm playing.
It says something along the lines of,
come on with it.
You know, what is it? It says, "Get wisdom, and all you're getting, get understanding." Oh, yeah. For wisdom is the principal thing, or the main thing.
The main thing.
And that was kind of what I'm thinking about. Is for far too often, we as Christians do not keep the main thing as the main thing. We're focused on all of the other things. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but it looks like everybody in the world is losing their mind over the next virus, coronavirus, or I don't know what. It's like anything that happens, doesn't matter what it is. Something happens. Everybody's going to lose their mind. Hey, Facebook is updating their, policy. Oh, let's lose our mind because that means they're going to start censoring us. Oh, wait, YouTube has put in a new ad policy. I'm not going to be able to make a living and earn my 36 cents a month that I make off of ad revenue. Oh, no, what's going to happen?
Wait a minute, you make 36 cents?
I make nothing.
Wait a minute.
I have not reached monetization yet. I got my 1,000 subs, but I still need those 4,000 watch hours.
I had no idea whenever you said, everybody's freaking out about, insert chaotic thing. I was just internally, I'm thinking, oh no, what are we doing now? What is it? Kanye again? What did Kanye do this time around? Like, are we losing our minds? What's it over? Oh yeah, the virus in China.
Right. Yep.
Which we should be. No, anyway. Yeah, I'm with you.
Geek Devotion saying, wait, y'all make money?
That's so true. Yeah.
Oh, if only there was some money coming in. It's going to happen. It's not that I don't make money off of the online stuff. I just don't make any money directly from YouTube. But the main thing,
I don't make any money. This is all a hobby. This is all a hobby that I put money into, but it's fun. It's worth every penny.
I think if we look at do a breakdown of, okay, here's how much I've spent and here's how much I've earned, I'm way in the red. But but my wife has suspended my spending habits, so that means it's only up from here, right? So yeah.
Oh,
she told me I can get
feel
2
ya.
more lenses, and then I need to wait for a while. So
Yeah, I feel you. Jesse stepped in a few moons ago because I'm one of those obviously addictive personalities. Whenever I go in, I go all in, and I jumped all in on camera gear and stuff. And she was like, "Babe, whoa, 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 whoa,
right.
too far, too far.
Hold up. Wait, yeah, there's
Slow our
too
roll.
much going on. Yeah.
Let's see if we make any money off of this." No.
Well, and
But
the
it's so
crazy
fun.
thing is that the crazy thing about the camera gear is it's so easy, to get lost. It's like, hey, I want a B camera. I'm going to grab this, and then I need a lens, and then I need another lens, and then I need another lens, and then I think I do have one more lens sitting there that I could have grabbed, but I just ran out of room. Now, the crazy thing is, like, when I do it, because I sat there and I think about, here, we'll pull this in for main thing, the main thing ideas. And while we're talking about gear, we can talk about what we're doing with this digital ministry. Geek Devotion saying, laugh out loud, yeah, we are saving what we can for some new sound equipment for the cons, because the main thing at the moment for us is our rent. Absolutely.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
got to pay
Oh,
them
yeah,
bills first and foremost. Henry in the house, and he is saying that he has just
Henry!
got the nifty 50. He just picked this bad boy up.
That's essential.
awesome.
That's essential.
It is. And actually,
Yeah,
because
I'm a fan of any sort of
Go ahead.
like, I don't zoom, get wide, multiple angle. What am I trying to say?
Yeah, just a wide angle lens.
Spectrum. Words and a nifty 50. Oh man, this may be a long one today. Words.
It very well could be. No, when I think about the gear aspect of it, this was the thing I was telling my wife. So you guys know I do the vlogs. And so when I'm doing vlogs, I've got, and I recently switched over. I'm only using that Canon that you guys are seeing me on for probably the next 2 days. And then
That's fine. We are going to welcome you back in about 3, 4, maybe even 5. I don't know. Maybe 5. Maybe as long as 5 years, we'll gladly welcome you back. It's okay.
Hey, who knows what happens in 5 years?
The main thing that you're making videos and you're happy with what you do. You're going to provide for your family. That's fine. But one day you're going to be like, man, I just miss the ease of use. The ecosystem of Canon. Man.
No.
Autofocus, colors. I'm just tired of messing with all that stuff. I don't want to have to color grade it 4 and 5 times.
the colors. Now, hey, new Sony stuff straight out of the box. Man, that stuff is, it's awesome. So Henry just asked, he said, hey, which camera? He's saying, which camera you got? And so I grabbed the, let's see if Canon's autofocus will actually work this time. Is it working? Is it working? I think it's working. Here, I'll give you a big ol'. This is the Sony A6600. Here, how do you like that? How do you like that, Canon? You can't even focus on another camera. You just don't like them that much. It's right here. What is it? Stop looking at me. I'm back here. Camera, right here. There you go. Sony A6600. Anyhow, that's what it was. And then, of course, Jared is sitting there and he's saying, I got the EOS R. Ooh, look at that thing.
But the R5. Not yet. It's not there yet. I'll give it to you. It's not there yet. If I was doing what we're doing, I would hop over to Sony, which I am, but I'm already invested too far into Canon. Yeah. I'd hop over, do some Sony stuff. Fantastic. But the R5 in the future and whatever Canon has coming down the pipe, if it matches and it's on par with that, could be interesting.
So here's the thing. I love Canon. The M50 that I've got is what you guys are seeing me on. And beautiful camera. I still highly recommend the camera. Here's where we can tie this in with the main thing it's really understanding what are you supposed to be doing? What are you called to do type of a deal. So for me, when I sit there and I think about camera gear, I have to think about what are the types of videos that I'm doing? What are the types of videos that I want to be doing? So one, I do some of these.
Which for you is,
I mean, I do stuff like this. This stuff, I love that. You see it. That blurry bokeh back there, that shallow depth of field. I absolutely love that, which is why I've got for this thing coming in, I don't know where UPS is, he's running late, is a Sigma 16 millimeter f1.4. Now this is the 22 mil f2.0. So I'm going to get some beautiful buttery footage on that thing. You guys aren't even going to, you're not even going to know what's back there. It's going to be that blurred. So one, I needed something like that. And for different things where I really want that shallow depth of field, that's where the 16 mil is going to come into play. The second thing is, of course, for vlogging, which is why I've got the 10 to 18 millimeter lens on this, because you see everything. I mean, it's such a wide focal view that, hey, that's what we were looking for, focal view.
That's it. That's the word.
So with that, the 10 to 18 is beautiful. I love that this one has a constant f.4 on the aperture, so at least it's set. And then the other lens, I'm getting the Nifty 50 for Sony, which is just like this one. It's a 50 mil f1.8, and I use that for the sermons. So, which is the other reason why, yay Sony, boo Canon. Canon still is operating with that dreaded 30-minute record limit. Why?
It's true.
And for me,
it's true.
Hey, my sermons, if I'm getting long-winded, I want the camera to be able to catch up with it. And I don't want to have to send somebody back there to record, especially being small church and not having a lot of people to record. I set it and forget it. And the only thing I've got to worry about is, did I charge my battery? And with the A6600 and that big old Z battery, man, I burned through 128 gig memory card, SD card on there before the battery even goes dead. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, I think I actually did that. I went over 200 because I used 2 memory cards, so over 200 gigs on that Florida trip. Battery was still good.
Oh.
Yeah, it was way too much footage.
Oh.
However, that's the other thing, 4K. M50, yes, it can do 4K, but you lose your dual pixel autofocus in 4K. Although, come on, dual pixel autofocus doesn't like me right now anyways. So, not that big of a deal. But the 4K on the M50 has a 2.56 crop on it. And there's no extra crop on the Sony. It's the normal APS-C 1.5. So I'm like, yeah, no, nothing. Yeah. Nothing.
Well, you're right. It's really about whatever's best for you. And with my side of the fence, I'm going with Canon because I need a continuity of shots. I could cash all in on my lenses and cameras and swap out for Sony, but that's a whole bunch of effort that I don't want to put into learning a new system. So I'm going with Canon because the church has Canon. We have an XA10, I believe, just a camcorder camera up at the church, which means I could bring my 6D Mark II and eventually my Canon EOS R. And anytime we're doing interviews or doing multiple shots, I don't have to spend as much time in post because, as we talked about, I think it was 2 weeks ago, time is money, but time is just a delicacy that we don't necessarily have as pastors. We need to be able to get in the moment, do what we're doing to the best of our ability, and then move on to the next, because there's so many things that are of equal or if not greater importance than, nailing that particular shot for the day. So for me, ease of use in the Canon ecosystem, I already have one. I already had one at the church, so I am going to be branching further into the old Canon thing. And as long as they keep up, my deal with each company is they're doing the best they can. If one camera company could have it all, they probably would, and they would dominate the whole game. But they can't. They're making trade-offs, and I'm willing to work with what Canon's got right now. Granted, they're being ridiculous with a few features. They're kind of taxing. They've been taxing people for a while on just being a Canon user. But anyway, I'm willing to stick with them. But this little Canon EOS R that they came out with, I think they're making some concessions to jump in the mirrorless game.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look at your screen.
That's what I think. Hey. Diana, well, I thought we were friends, but then again, you know what? You went brutal on the vloggers. You went brutal on Jason Mayfield and Trey Van Camp whenever the Florida thing, when Joshua went through your house.
That's the great part about Diana. Diana is a what you see is what you get. So you want like real truth? Just stick a camera in front of her.
Get saved.
Ask her a question. She's going to tell you the truth. She's going to say that you need to get saved and jump the ship and go over to Sony.
That is true. That is true.
So
it may not be
she
true.
Has to make her buddies back,
authentic
though.
To her.
See, she says that, but then she posts something about Jif peanut butter coming out with a GIF peanut butter version.
I saw that.
Which, by the way, they sold out before I could get it. And I'm just not willing to spend $50 on eBay for a jar of peanut butter.
Dude, that's good marketing right there. That's really good marketing. They're back in the game.
Oh, it was
cool.
was beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. I love when businesses, companies will do stuff like that. I wish the church would do stuff like that more often.
Yep.
Start to capitalize on some of the things and the trends that they've got going on but unfortunately, they just won't. Or very few do. I'm sure there are some out there that are kind of capitalizing it. But unfortunately, as Christians, we're too cheesy.
Well, we're too cheesy. And if somebody has something successful, we'll all jump on them and say you're a sellout. Why did you sell out for? We do it. You know we do it. We jump on you and say, why didn't you go for content? Why didn't you go for substance rather than just going out and making the quick play? No, they're not. They're doing both and. They're trying to be relevant in their community and go deep by introducing them to the king and letting him do his thing.
Yeah.
Drives me crazy.
I'm going to pull up...
I'm just diving into the whole, keeping the main thing. We have a church in our community who's doing a smashing job of this. They are reaching out to, we have a college campus here in our town, and they're blowing up this college campus. And this particular church, they have targeted these guys, and they're like extremely relevant there. I can't even give you some of the things. They have like parties for them. They have just odd, weird giveaways. They have Facebook campaigns that are just targeted around the students of this campus. And some people say, well, they're sellouts and they're watering down the gospel. I hear that so many times around town. I'm like, no, they're not. They're giving a low barrier to entry for these college students to keep the main thing, to be introduced to the king. And then not like once they're in, but like give them just the lowest barrier to say, we're not crazy. Christians aren't religious nutters. We're just in love with a person, and we would like to introduce you to him and go to town. So anyway, I drives me crazy whenever it's like we have one of those churches, everybody jumps on their back, and they're doing a fantastic job. So if anybody from Timber Ridge, I might holler at you right now, is listening today or watching today, you guys are smashing it.
Shout out to Timber Ridge. We love that. I love when churches are doing that, when they're actually stepping up and doing a good job of engaging. And of course, you and I are going to love that because, hey, here we are. We're the vlog pastors. We are pastors who vlog. There's a handful of us in the world.
That's so crazy. Jesse and I were just talking about that today. Because, like, think about it. YouTube is billions of people. Now, granted, they're not all active users, but I can't remember the stats on that exactly. But billions of people, and there's really a handful of vlogging, handful. Maybe I haven't broken into that bubble. There's some big-time Christian creators out there. But as far as, like, vlogging pastors, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, Joshua. There's a handful.
Yeah, there aren't a ton of them that I'm thinking of. I mean, if I went down through a list, I could probably list off maybe 20. And then
you do better than I am, but then again, you're more connected.
Well, and then of those, it's like I mean, okay, hey, here's Diana. Diana's saying that there's literally 2 of 7 vlog pastors in America right here. It's like,
Are you serious? No, I can't be that small.
but seriously, there's not a ton of them in there. Geek Devotions rolling. Good to see you. Have a good one. No, as far as actual pastors that are doing stuff, there aren't a ton. There really aren't. I could probably come up with about 20 that I'm thinking of. However, of that 20, the amount that are actually doing it on a regular basis, and now let me be specific. I'm talking about vlogging. And when I say vlogging, I'm talking you got your camera, you're holding it out here, and you're recording yourself doing something. If you think that a vlog is just sitting in a studio and talking to a camera, if that's how you define it, then we've got different numbers. I don't define it that way. That is making a video. It's definitely YouTubing, but I don't see it as vlogging. I see a vlog as a video log. When I think of vlog, I go back to Star Trek, Captain's log. What was he doing? He was giving a recap.
That's
of
why
his
we're friends
thoughts.
right there.
A recap of his thoughts and his day and the journey that he was on. That's what he was doing. So you know what? Pastor's log. Stardate.
Yep.
2020.
I actually have a video titled that.
Do you?
I really do. I have a video titled Pastor's Log or Pastor's Vlog. I can't remember which one it was. Stardate 001, whatever. That's literally one of them. Nobody clicked on it. I don't know why.
Yeah. That is awesome. Hey, got a couple other guys just popping in here. Andrew Latasaw.
Andrew, what's up, man?
He's saying very difficult to find people in his niche. Now, see, here's another thing. Yep. Andrew is not only a vlog pastor, he is a vlog pastor that is focused on his local community of what is it, Kittanning, Pennsylvania, if I remember right, Andrew. He's saying not all of his stuff is pastor stuff either, which makes it tough to compare my channels to your guys' stuff.
And nor would you want to.
Right.
But yeah, like saying out of the whole comparison thing, dude, you do a fantastic job, just what Joshua was talking about right here, of focusing in on your community, man. That's something that I aspire to do more of in the future, because I've done a couple of videos highlighting, certain restaurants or certain places that Jesse and I have gone to, and we'll get a lot of feedback from our community. Hey, you're the vlogging guy, and you go and you do the reviews of. We don't, but that's what they equate it to in their mind.
Right.
Anyway, dude, you really do a wonderful job of painting your city as an awesome place to live, and yourself as a relatable person in that community. And it's really, I think it should be modeled by a lot of pastors out there. I know it's a niche thing, however you want to go there. But I think it could be a bridge to, we're non-threatening. This is my church. This is my heart for the community. This is how I see the community. Now jump on board, people of the community, and come on in. Low barrier to entry. You do a great job, man.
Yep. Totally
great
agree.
Job.
We got another guy jumping in here, a life devoted. I want to say,
what's up, man?
Matt. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure
you
Matt
do this
Matthew,
every time.
my pastor friend boss asked me to do a podcast with him, and I have been procrastinating. Laugh out loud. Do it. Stop procrastinating. Don't
man.
Put it off. Do it. Do it. You've got to do it.
You amp it up. You amp it up to more than it should be in your mind. Yeah, just do it. Just crash one out like this one right here. We're just off the cuff in it.
We don't even know what we're doing.
Just do it.
We're just chatting. Yeah, who knows?
It's probably a train wreck. Who knows?
Yay, I made it to the live. That is awesome. Absolutely. And of course, Diana, I had pulled this up earlier. She says, yep, that's spot on, Jared. In love with Jesus, and I just want to share him. And that is the thing, I think, why we need more pastors, especially vlogging. See, here's the thing that I've noticed that in my church, the areas that I struggle with are the areas my congregation struggles with. When I have struggled to be a witness and actually share Jesus with other people, my congregation was struggling with it. As soon as I started doing it and I was able to model it to them, they started doing it. When I started doing more public prayer type stuff, they started doing it. And it's really that model that Jesus gave us of following. The Apostle Paul did the same thing with Timothy. Follow me as I follow Christ. And so if we think about this, the digital age that's out there, I want Christians on there. I want as many Christians saturating the digital world with Jesus as possible. However, I know it's going to have to start with the leaders of the church. The pastors are really going to have to start stepping up and doing stuff. And then we've got to do it in a way that is actually real and relatable. And I think that's the problem, is that there's so many that they just want to sit at a table and they want to open their Bible and pontificate. And if you don't know the definition of pontificate, that means to express one's opinion in an annoying fashion.
Which is fine, because that's comfortable for us. We're used to diving into the word and breaking it down. But
I'm
I think what you're getting at,
I'm disagreeing with you.
I think what you're getting,
it is not fine.
Hear this part out. Hear this part out. There are always going to be those kinds of people, the pontificators. They're a part of every environment, Christian environment. The thing is, I think what you're saying is the people like us, the people who can relate natively in a platform, the people with social skills, I would go so far as to say, who are like, they don't have an agenda. They're not trying to show their education. They're not trying to show that they're better than, they're just living life on life with Jesus. I think those people need to become louder, if not, maybe not louder, but more effective in just getting out there, getting online, getting in YouTube, getting in Twitter. Somebody, for the love of all that's good, get on to TikTok for me. Somebody pinch hit, get in there to TikTok and do it on their platform in a relatable way that's not cheesy. I think that's what you're saying. Am I getting you right?
Yes, I'm more focused on the relatability, and that's the problem. Is that what happens is often the church, even Christians, they come into a church, unchurched, doesn't matter. They come in and what they see is one of the 168 hours of the week. And what they really need is they need to know, how do I actually apply the Word of God to my life in a way that transforms me into His image and likeness in a more relevant way? How can I be more like Him and less like me? And that's where I say, if all we're doing is sitting at a table and just talking about the Bible, we're not doing effectively. We're telling, but we're not showing. And people need to see how we actually do this, which is one of the biggest reasons I think why Jesus was a great storyteller. He took them along His life. He took them along this journey, and they saw His daily interaction and how He applied the Word in those moments. And that's where I think that they need to do it. I'm not saying we need a million vlog pastors. You can still do videos, but do it in a way that people can relate to. And okay, setting in, if you just set up a studio shot, that's great, but make it some type of a relatable studio shot. So maybe make it your church office if that's where you work out of. Maybe do it from a car. I've seen pastors doing that, where they just set up like a GoPro in their car. Well, okay, you ingested that too, but that's the type of stuff that even that is real. They can start to relate to it. One of our friends, Dennis Poulette, he just posted a picture. I think it was, I saw him on Instagram. And he's posting stuff on Instagram from him being at the local coffee shop. I mean, just doing stuff like that, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. I just think that there's so many things that we can do, ways that we can start to relate and really let people see Jesus through our lives. And that's where I will push back, and I'll say it's not fine to just sit there and just preach the Bible. Not saying that preaching the Word of God is wrong by any means. Please hear me. That's not. And it needs to be done. But people need more than just a lecture. They need a lesson. And the lesson is what they need to see in an application. They need to see how you're applying that thing. So that's my pushback. I don't think it's even fine, because I think it's so subpar. And the reason that most of us, I started that way, it was just sitting here in the room, just looking at the camera and trying to share some thoughts and ideas. The reason I did that is because it was comfortable. And I don't see anywhere in the scripture where God actually called us to have a comfortable life. If He did, why would He send the Holy Spirit, who's called the Comforter? No. Boom. I
don't know. I think there can be, I'm with you, but I also think there can be some truly, truly gifted teachers. Teachers who can sit down at a table. I mean, they're going to need to conform to the medium. But that's the form. I think there can be some truly gifted teachers who figure out a way to sit behind a desk, but maybe add visuals. I don't know. Keep people interested, and they're out there. They just aren't the norm.
Right there, you started because what it then becomes is and I think you add the clarification, adding the visuals, adding something to break up the monotony of I'm sitting here with my Bible and I'm just talking. Add something, give them something, especially if we're doing video. If all you want to do is sit and just read the Bible, go to an audio only podcast.
Yeah. Right. That's true.
If you're going to try to add a video element, which you should be, because come on, video is huge, and live streaming video is huge, and on-demand video is huge. And if you don't realize that, you haven't been paying attention to the streaming wars of the YouTube TVs and the Hulu Pluses and the, what is it, Direct TV Now, and I think Sony lost with the PlayStation View. It's out the window, but these guys are all switching to that because it's on demand, it's at people's fingertips, and they need it. So if you're going to set and teach the word, come on, change it up. Get an overhead camera. Let them see your Bible. Let them see you marking up your Bible, writing notes. Let them see your, Strong's Concordance and how you're doing a Greek word study to find out what it really meant. Show them that stuff. That takes it to a different level. So I think I like the clarification you add on that because it's giving more. It's really trying to bring value to the viewer at that point.
Yeah. I think if we're going to boil it down as pastors, we're harsh on our own. Let's just be honest. We're harsh. Maybe not you or I, but we've experienced I don't even want to group it into an age group or anything like that, but we've experienced the Pharisee who sits in the closet and studies the scripture all day long, and whenever you accidentally misquote something or you're in the wrong spot or whatever, you said the wrong word, had the wrong context, whatever it is, they jump and they pounce on you. And so there's a security behind the word, behind the desk, and there's almost like a fear to put stuff out there. And I want to caveat everything that we're saying by, it doesn't have to be the Bible Project. It doesn't have to be sent through a legion of scholars and then have it handcrafted through designers and all that stuff. If you start off by sitting behind a table and sharing your heart about what Jesus has shown you, then go for it. All Joshua is saying is, but make it interesting at some point, because you are on YouTube's and you are trying to reach people and you want to keep them interested. So I don't know. I think for us, I think there's a temptation to only show the highlights in that hour a week. You were saying let the people see more of your life. Same with our videos, man. I think some of my favorite videos on YouTube are where people failed. They set out towards something. They wanted to do it well and with integrity, but they failed. I made a video yesterday, had some high ambitions about what I wanted to get accomplished in that particular day and in that particular video, and I wiped out horribly. And I think people need to see that.
Yes. I would absolutely agree. I want to get to some of these comments. The chat is blowing up. People are hot. Henry had just said that he, as in God, is in my ear, literally in my ear as you guys are talking. Diana's saying, come on, Henry. The world needs you, man.
Come on, Henry. Come on, man.
Absolutely.
Make it.
Andrew saying that that's the popular stuff. I tell other pastors to do those type of things to gather the crowd. And then, what does it say? The pastor ones give you a chance to give the gospel message. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's really trying to break down the barrier and make it relatable to them so they'll actually hear us. He's saying it's like Peter and John. They go to where the people are, gather a crowd, and then preach. Right. And here's YouTube. Yep. It is where the crowd is at. Diana saying the pastors need and want to, or people need and want to know their pastors. Vlogging is such an awesome way to connect deeper and faster with your people. Amen. 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 Okay, looks like Henry got it. Jesus, you got the message through to him. Yeah.
Real question for you, Joshua. What percentage of your congregation would you say watches your vlogs, though? Like your actual physical, like go to your church congregation?
Percentage?
Overall viewership of your channel, how many of those?
Probably a quarter of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really high.
Yeah, I would say probably a quarter of them. Even like there's like my grandma who does not have internet access. When my kids are staying with her, they'll pull up my vlogs and force her to watch them.
That's so cool.
Or half the time she's just wanting to know because she's not online. She doesn't know what it is. And so she's asking, she's like, what is this? What are you doing? So pull videos up here and there. So yeah, I would say it's probably about a quarter of my congregation. And a lot of that was also me trying to tell them early on that, hey, you're getting an hour and a half of my time on Sunday. And there are a few of you that are getting a little bit more on Wednesday or throughout the week, and we might go do stuff, but I'm not able to do that with everybody. However, if you want more, YouTube's on your phone. Just pull it out.
Yeah.
I'm putting stuff on there. And then there's a backlog of, of stuff that they can constantly go through. And in all of my videos, I try to have a point, an idea that they can kind of chew on and wrestle with. So I think that's the thing that I would see. I would say it's probably about a quarter of the congregation if I had to put it. And that's me trying to exclude my wife and kids on that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
That's
Diana
really
had
high,
a good
man.
one
Really
talking
good.
about Jesus, the OG vlogger. And he had 4 primary folks documenting his mission. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
Love that.
Here was one of them from our church, Jason. He's saying that, Josh, you're great, and how you make people experience the word and want to learn more. I can't wait. You bring a tambourine to celebrate our Father. I am not bringing a tambourine. Tambourines are of the devil.
It's a gateway drug to the shofar. I'm just kidding.
There you go. Andrew saying, Josh, does he dislike tambourines as well? Yes. I dislike tambourines. I love a tambourine that is played well. I'll leave it at that. So, Andrew's sitting here and he's saying that I think it's a millennial and younger need. Caps need. All they've ever seen in life is a bunch of hypocrites telling them what to do with no meat to it. They need people to take their hand and walk with them. Yes, and amen. He said that they're ready to change the world. Either we grab them or the world will. Man, that's powerful. That's
interesting.
That is good. Diana saying, but then too, you have a digital congregation too. I gave nearly $3,000 last year to churches I didn't attend and still paid tithes.
Look at you, girl. Man. Blessed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You are blessed with generosity. Some
Diana's
people,
amazing.
It's just amazing. I mean,
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
yeah. That's all we need to say. How about that?
Okay, so Sonic is in the house. He's saying, "Hey, y'all."
Sonic.
And the best things happen unintentionally. I think that's him hopping in here and meeting us is the best thing that happened unintentionally. Okay, so going back with this thought on the main thing, and that's where I think we've been kind of dancing around this, where I think too often what happens, we can look at this with the coronavirus. People are focused on what the world has going wrong with it rather than what the kingdom of God has going right with it. And
like wars and rumors of wars. Is that what you're getting at?
And it's not like I'm trying to hide my head, bury it under the sand and say, I don't care. But you know what? I don't care. And I don't. Why? Because the Bible already said this stuff was going to happen. Why are we shocked? Why are we surprised? And actually, it tells us that what we should be doing is fixing our eyes on Jesus. And if we keep our eyes focused on him, then all of the negative stuff that happens in the world, it's like, whatever, it was going to happen anyways. I mean, it's been prophesied for thousands of years.
Yeah, and that's not to be unfeeling or uncaring. We're definitely called to roll up our sleeves and get in the middle of all of this. Like, where the church can help out, where the church can lend a hand, we should be there. But not with doom and gloom up on our faces, with hope and joy and shedding love and life with everybody we come in contact with.
Yeah.
So, the coronavirus thing, we should be there lending a hand rather than bunkering and hunkering down in fear.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean,
rant over.
Yeah, it's just not to say that, if somebody's hunkering down, if I was in the middle of it, chances are I'm probably hunkering down for a while, especially, protect the kids. But apart from that, I think it's more of not even the physical hunkering down, it's the mental hunkering down, because people are so afraid of what's happening out there or what could happen. Let's pivot this and let's talk about digital ministry. The main reason that people and I hear this constantly, two big objections. One is, I don't know how to do that. So do something. I mean, I don't know how. Like, that's an excuse? You really think that's going to fly when King Jesus says, hey, what did you do with what I gave you? Well, I didn't know what to do with it. I just buried it under the sand, and I thought to.
Don't do it.
Don't do that. So then the other one is, they're like, well, I just, I don't know if I really want to go down that path, because I hear all of the negative things, and there's all of these comments, and, there's like the internet trolls and stuff, and I just don't have time for that. It's going to happen, but it happens all the time. And the more you spread the message, the more that's going to happen. The bigger the crowd is, the bigger the opposition is going to be.
Whether known or unknown. I mean, just count yourself lucky that you get to see the text pop up. If you happen to be in our vocation, sometimes you never get to see the text pop up. Sometimes you just are out there living life, preaching the word, and you get, for instance, this last week, a couple friends of mine started saying, hey, brother, text me. Hey, brother, praying for you. Love you. Hey, no matter what Satan says to your congregation, no matter what lies are right. I'm like, okay, great. Well, what's bouncing around out there? Whether it's right. Actually voiced from somebody in my congregation or around an onlooker or somebody, whatever, doesn't matter. The demonic stirring is there, and sometimes we don't get to see it. So that as an excuse, we're gonna weather it, whether that happens to be on YouTube and you get to see it face to face, or whether that's out in real life and you just hear the rumors and the echoes of it. Doesn't change the battle plan. It's what we're supposed to walk through.
Yeah, totally agree. And that's kind of where it's just like, honestly, what happens is, what I see is, anytime God has called us to anything, to do anything, and we don't do it, it's because we have our focus wrong. We're not focused on the main thing. We're not keeping the main thing. Here's the main thing. Jesus died for our lives so that we can have a new life walking with him, which means he's the one that gets to call the shots. And we want to question, and we want to doubt. We want to say, well, no, I don't want to. Guess what? He didn't want to go to the cross for you, but he did. He was obedient, even unto death. He did it. And that's the thing. It's like, all he's saying is, just do what I did, because I'm showing you there's a better way. And whatever that is, I mean, okay, so people are going to hate on us. I get troll comments all the time. I love them. I embrace them. I love them.
You really do.
Love them. Every single one that comes through.
I can tolerate them, but you love them.
I love them. I absolutely love them, because most of them are just so moronic. Yes, calling these people morons. They are fools. You don't like that? Read Proverbs. It says that even a fool says in his own heart there is no God. Go ahead. You want to, by all means, do it. And keep putting the comments. You know why? You post the comments on my channel. YouTube just sees engagement, and they push my content out to more people. You're doing me a favor and helping spread this message. So bring it on. I love it. I don't lose sleep about it. I'm like, just keep doing it. Keep promoting this stuff. It's great.
Yeah, I saw a comedian the other day, and he said he was golfing with a buddy, and he was not a believer at the time, and his buddy is, and this buddy asked him, hey, have you ever read the Bible? And he says, no, I never read the Bible. He said, I'm an atheist. He said, obviously you're not a well-versed atheist, you're just a moron. He said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, a well-versed atheist at least has studied the world religions and has prayed, has searched through the Bible, and has at least, given God an opportunity to speak, to say something. You're just a moron. Anyway, that was fascinating.
That's great.
Probably seen it.
That is
Hey,
great.
I want to throw one thing in there. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and love and of a sound mind. I think that's really what you're talking about right here with the whole coronavirus and keeping the main thing the main thing. You know, those of us who have a hope, those of us who are walking with a real tangible God who doesn't seem to be threatened by a coronavirus or the hate of friends and family or comments or getting started. He just seems to be blazing a trail of love and calling us onward. It's only when we shift our focus off him, the main thing, because you were almost like that whole wisdom truth thing is personified in a person, in a God, and a living God, King Jesus. And when we shift our eyes off of him, that's when we start thinking, oh, what happens when the coronavirus comes to the United States, and what are we going to do, and what are we going to, I don't even know. I don't have news, but that's when it shifts, when we take our eyes off of Jesus, just what you said.
Right.
Getting me all amped up over here.
Jason Mayfield just tried calling me apparently, and he says he got denied.
Jason!
He did. He got denied.
Call in. Dude,
I wonder if I can even set that up. I don't even know if it'll let me. I've got to look while I'm thinking about that. I don't even know with vMix how many simultaneous calls I can even have.
Jason is an outside the box thinker, for sure. Would you concur? Every time I see him coming up with something, I'm like, whoa, I would never have thought of that. It's like totally left field type of thing, but brilliant each time.
Yes.
Are you calling me? Somebody calling me. Jason, is that you? I don't think you have my number, but go ahead.
Nope. Jason, I'm... He's saying...
What diplomatic? What do you mean? It's true.
I think were you talking about him being an outside of the box thinker more in a creative fashion or a theological fashion? Okay.
Creative. That's I don't necessarily know all of his stances on theology, so creative.
No. Jason said that was you calling. He knows everybody's number. So and Jason, I would love to get you on here, but I've got to upgrade my software before I can do that. So apparently vMix is only allowing me to do one call at a time. So now it looks like I've got to talk to my wife about upping my my budget again.
Genevieve.
No, I completely agree. Jason is an outside of the box thinker. One of the things that he's doing constantly, and I think he has this vision of understanding cultural trends and how to meet the cultural trend with the gospel in a way that like smacks them in their face, gets their attention. And he's able to catch some of that stuff that it really just gets me. Honestly, it inspires me a lot of times. I love just stealing his stuff. And of course, then I'm never going to admit that I actually stole it. He's not going to be able to figure out what it was that I stole. I just steal it all. No, I don't steal it. He gives everything away.
That's really well put. He has a way of just going, like almost like a bop on the nose. We're like, I never even thought of that. Very clever.
I don't
even the way that like your studio is. Fair enough.
He likes how he has a whole segment on here. This next segment is sponsored by the Jason Mayfield.
Right.
Check him out at thejasonmayfield.com. Actually, I don't know if that's his address, but it's probably something like that. Just Google Jason Mayfield. You'll find him. Check out his YouTube channel, Jason Mayfield. Grace for Life TV.
You're going to like it.
There you go. YouTube.com/Grace for Life TV. Takes you right to his stuff. You'll find it. It's amazing. I love it. Hashtag not your pastor.
Jeez.
No.
You guys are actually... Go ahead.
I was going to say, Jason has this creativity and things. There are things that he does, like he was posting stuff on Instagram talking about a new overhead rig and things like that. And it was like, dude, that's awesome. One of the things that when I was down there in Florida, I don't know, saw his studio back in whenever it was. And he's got like his softbox lights that are on a wall mount.
on
and
a
it's
wall
like
mount. That's the
pulling 'em
stuff I'm
out there.
talking about.
I mean, that overhead backdrop system, that was a Mayfield inspired thing. It was like,
Yep.
oh man, this is really cool.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the type of stuff that I get. I love that stuff. Oh hey, apparently Jason, here you go. Next time you sell a product on jasonmayfield.com, you guys can use the code JVerwers for 10% off your next purchase.
I love his avatar too.
Baby, actually that's not even baby Yoda, that's real Yoda. So yeah, no, Jason's got some great stuff. Yeah, Life Devoted, if you haven't checked out Jason Mayfield yet, oh man, you're missing out. Real raw,
Oh yeah.
authentic Christianity in such a way that you're going to find this, and Jason and I've talked about this, people often mistake Jason's bluntness for being rude, and it's not. He's just he is who he is. He completely owns it, and he's not going to let your perception of him change who he is and how he does. I think it's a great thing that so many of us as Christians could really get that. To me, I love looking at different people that have completely different personality types than me and sitting there and saying, okay, what has Jesus got in them that I don't have, and what can I learn? What can I extract out of it?
Right.
And so when I sit there and I see Jason Mayfield, one of the things I see is he's just not going to engage with people's stupidity the same way that Jesus would not engage with people's stupidity. Me, I will engage with people's stupidity. And I probably shouldn't.
What an interesting way to look at that. What an interesting way to look at that. I don't know whether it's the way he edits himself or whether, you've seen enough of his videos the way that you edit him, but he's always come across to me as, Jason, you've always come across to me as a very witty guy. Just whatever's in here is coming out here just as fast. There's no restrainer, and appreciate that about you, man. It's inspiring.
Not that with Jason, getting to know him, I don't think it's even a case that he has no filter. Some people would sit there and say he has no filter, and I don't believe that to be true. I believe Jason thoroughly thinks out everything that he's going to say before he says it, but it's come way
Jason,
in advance.
weigh in on this.
It's
Come
not
on, you're
even
here.
in there. I mean, Jason, you're here. Tell me if I'm wrong on that, but I've seen so much of the stuff and listened to you that there are things that you're doing and saying that you've thought about. I'm going to use this specific word that is going to ruffle feathers, and
so
it's
you're saying he's a strategist about it. Oh, okay. Okay, that would definitely be. Oh no. It filters big time? Really?
Okay, so you're filtering, but I'm talking like in the moment when what you're saying you've thought about. Like, you know what you want to ask, you've got questions you want to ask, you've got a point you want to make, and you're thinking about that before you go into it. So there's a filter, but it's not like, he's got this filter that it's like, it's an advanced filter where me, and you can catch this if you go back and look at the podcast that Jason and I did, that podcast episode, I censored him.
That's the one episode on your channel that I have not seen.
Oh,
Sorry,
you've
Jason.
got to watch it. You've got to watch it.
It was like an hour and a half, and it was one day whenever I couldn't do it, and I just passed it, never came back to it.
You got to go back to it. It's great. And see, that was something that Jason used some language in there that I would not typically use. And I was thankful that it wasn't live, which is why he's thinking that I'm not going to let him on this because I won't be able to censor what he does.
Oh, come on.
He doesn't realize that I can mute Jared at any point in time. I mean, Jared can just be talking, and now all of a sudden, Jared's got nothing. See what I mean?
Me? Oh, man. Turn me back on, man. Turn me back on.
But just Jason he thinks about those things. And after Jason and I had talked about it, I was like, no, I completely saw why he used the words that he did. My filter was on in the moment. Now thinking back on it, it's like, I probably should have left that in just for the shock and awe value, but I'm not going to go through and re-edit it because I just move on like that. So
fair enough. Fair enough.
Jason saying, I don't know that I'm a great question, but whatever I'm saying, I typically process for a while. There you go. Question asker, that is. He processes this stuff. He thinks about it. And he says I was super gracious about, him censoring him. I was, because I not only censored him, I didn't put like a censor bar. I did a censor bar that says hashtag not your pastor. So, but that's one of the other beautiful things about Jason. And Jason's not a pastor currently in the capacity that we would set there. He says hashtag not your pastor. With their business, Jason's got a ton of people that he is shepherding.
Right.
And so he's doing that, but he has been a pastor by profession in the past. And because of that, he understands it, but he also understands that there are things that you and I, as pastors, that we're thinking, but we're not going to say. Because if we say them, we have to weigh the benefit and the consequence of it. And it's like, oftentimes
you have to teach me that one, Yoda. You're going to have to teach me that one.
What, how to not say that stuff?
I'm a little bit less filtered, I would say. Obviously, I just tend to run off at the mouth. Kind of what's on the inside is what's on the outside. I do have a little bit of restraint, but it's not in the area of, oh man, I hope I don't say something bad or whatever. It's more like, you're an idiot. Why'd you just say that?
Oh,
it's like, you probably better not say that next time.
Yeah, I'll do that with people, and that's part of me, is they just understand that I'm real and raw like that. But there are things, there are topics, there are themes that I could be mentioning in church that I'm going to stay away from because it's opening up too big of a can of worms. And the same thing would be on the vlogs. I mean, there are things that people want to get on YouTube, and Christians want to sit there and rant and discuss, and I'm like, why? What's the point? What benefit is this going to have on the kingdom of God? And that's the thing, that it's like, if I don't see the benefit, I'm not going to do it.
Sure. And
sometimes that's to a detriment because I won't see the benefit, even though the benefit is there. That's the bonus of like you, where you've got a little bit less of a filter than I would. Mm-hmm. And Jason, who he thinks his filter is probably bigger than mine, but he takes it even further in depth from what I've seen. He thinks about something a lot deeper than I would think about it. So I'll get to like this level and he keeps going down on it, and he'll find the benefit. And if he starts to see it, if like early on he sees there's no path to a benefit, he's not wasting his time, because
he's bailing on it.
Time is just so important. Yeah. So, okay. My son is saying, let's keep it PG on here.
Okay. Yes, sir.
He's a children. Hey, PG-13. And this channel is not for kids.
Is not this targeted is not to children.
For kids. I don't make things for kids.
Captioned in there. That's crazy, man. That could be a whole episode in and of itself. I understand where they're going, but it is a pain right now to navigate that whole not for kids thing.
Hey, again.
Not your Yoda.
Again, it's keeping the main thing. I don't worry about that stuff. It's like, I mean, when it first happened, I was like, what am I going to do? Is it going to be for kids, not kids? I mean, kids watch it. And I was like, wait, I'm not trying to do this for kids. I'm trying to do this for Christians, and preferably if I was doing it for kids, I wouldn't have done it on YouTube anyways, because I, as a parent, understand that you've got to be 13-year-old to have a YouTube account, unless you're one of those parents that wants to just give your kids something that they are not supposed to have ahead of time. And then, not my fault. It's your fault. Do a better job parenting.
Yeah, that's the stuff right there. That's the stuff.
But, I mean, it's just one of those. So early on, I mean, as soon as the whole thing, it was like, really? Why do we... And honestly, I make this content... I could take the Jason Mayfield super spiritual route of, it's for Jesus. Well, of course. That's a default. It's a default answer. That's like... It doesn't even need to be said. I mean, yes, we know that.
We've got to get Jason on here. We got to get Jason on here now.
I'm gonna figure it out.
Highlighted, dude. You got to come on.
I'm gonna figure out how to get him on there. Hashtag not for kids.
Go ahead.
Hashtag
Sorry.
Don't take my monetization.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. Outside of the box, that dude is just so witty.
Right. But we're gonna. What was I? Well, what was I even saying? What was I just said something?
Jesus. No, of course we make this content for Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Of course we make this content for Jesus. But you know who I really make it for? Me. That's who I make it for. I make it for me.
There's an element of truth in that.
Because I enjoy it. And if I didn't enjoy it, why would I do it?
Yeah.
I mean,
but there has to be a purpose in it. Otherwise, you'd just be like, meh.
Well, yeah.
Wouldn't you give it up?
Everything I do for the Lord, and I do it as unto the Lord. But I'm doing this, one, so I enjoy it. It's like if somebody wants to know who my target audience is, it's a male between like 25 and 40.
Diana.
Named Jay. So, how many of you guys watching can relate to that? Your initial.
Wait a minute.
I just described myself.
I feel like I've been baited into this thing. So you were targeting me the whole time.
I was.
A male between 25 and 40.
Although, to be completely honest, I only found you because of your wife and her Instagram. So.
Yeah, fair enough. And her talking to goats. I know, man. If you guys haven't seen Jesse talking to goats, you need to check that out. It is an experience.
Yeah, Preacher's wife Jessica on Instagram. Check it out.
It's a thing. It's a full-on thing. People don't know me, but they know my wife. They know the preacher's wife who talks to goats.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Well,
she loves it. Once you see it, you'll understand. You're like, oh, well, there it is.
Yeah,
sure enough.
It's great. Although I'm still waiting for you to bring back Mavic Mondays.
Dude. Yeah. Me too.
Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I need to get a Mavic Mini. I got to write this down. VMix 4K.
Your wife is going to kill you. Stop. Genevieve, come in here and pull the pin out of his hand.
Mini.
Genevieve. Are you watching?
If Genevieve's listening, I could use some more coffee. I know my son is. He's listening, and I could use some more coffee. No, but where are we at? What are we even talking about? How did we get to this place? What is going on?
Hey, welcome to my life.
I don't even know. Are we even still streaming?
Probably not. Do we have any questions? Probably not.
Somehow I lost my YouTube stream. Seriously, I don't even know if we're. Is anybody even here? What happened? One of my windows closed. So I don't even know if we're live. Something. We may not even be live anymore. That may have been what happened. I mean, the last thing I got was from Diana saying the goat whisper, so maybe we did. Nope. Jason's watching us. He still sees us. We are still here.
Hi, Jason.
I just absolutely lost my dashboard. I have no idea where it went. I don't even know how to get back in there. But if we're still going, then I guess we're going. Videos. Hey, just take it over. I'm going to try to figure this out.
You do you, boo. You do you.
Hey, here we are. We're live. We're live now.
Jason, let's just finish this. Diana, let's finish this. Let's hold on for it. What do you guys want to talk about?
Pulling up.
Let's ask all those questions of Joshua that we never get to ask. Come on, we're crashing his channel. What do we want to do? We're at the helm right now. What do we want to talk about?
You're trying to crash the channel, but I mean, I'm the one that has all of the stuff.
Right now, he needs me. Right now, he's distracted. We can say anything that we want. Right now, I need that wit.
Hey, Pastor Wayne Norris saying, hey, got on. Good to see you here. Yeah, so apparently we're still live, but I have no idea how I'm going to ever end my live stream because I don't even know where it was, where it's at. Recently closed tabs. This makes no sense.
That'd be awesome. 24, like instead of 24 hours of prayer, just be 24 hours of Joshua's studio.
Video details, YouTube studio. Oh wait,
Genevieve, coffee hand, quick. No, seriously, let's hijack this thing. What do we want to talk about? Come on, Henry, fire me off one. Sonic, you still in here?
I'm seriously cannot.
I know
find
Jason's got something.
Any of it? I know it was here, but where it went?
It'll be fine. It's safe in somebody's hands. Thank you, Sonic. Appreciate you, sir.
Let's see if I can find it.
You're fine.
I can pull it up.
Your code is safe with me.
I can see us. Yeah, more options. I just have no idea. The old YouTube thank you. YouTube Studio, you got rid of it with Creator Classic. I could have found it with Creator Classic. Now I can't find it. I don't even know where it's at. Don't even know how to get to my thingamajigger.
Light years ahead of me, my man. I just turn on the old thingamajig, press on, and then you tell me what to do. What?
I found it. I found it. Hey, there you are. I see you guys. Now I know. Okay, so don't close that window again. So Jason says that he is in a full-on renovation over here. And
really? What are you renovating? Oh, sorry.
he wants to know, what is the most helpful piece of equipment of your system you have for creating content? What is it? What is it? What is your
piece of equipment?
Most helpful piece of content?
Are you talking about system like a process? Are you talking about system like
No, he says
a light, like equipment piece?
Equipment. I think that's supposed to be of
Piece
your system.
of equipment of your system you have for creating content. Go ahead.
He's talking about a process. What is in your whole process? What is the most helpful piece of equipment? Oh, process
daily
or
devotional.
equipment. Ooh, he's saying process or equipment. Now you're changing your question. Process or equipment.
He's the guest of honor today. Let's just do this.
He is. He's hijacked our
4 stars.
stream
4 stars.
without
Hey.
even being on the stream.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why I say outside the box. Somehow, Jason is the third member of this live stream. I love it, dude.
If
Come on.
I could figure out a way of piping him in, I would do it. I'm not sure how to do it right now.
I would say for me, process-wise, it's daily devotional has really come in to play in the last couple of weeks, because I'll have something that will catch my attention whenever I'm just hanging out with the Lord, and it'll be like a nugget or a thought or an idea or so. I don't know, not necessarily for videos, but it's impactful to me. And if it's impactful to me, then I assume that it's going to be impactful to everyone else out there. And so then I start just kind of meditating upon, like, what does that look like? How would I work that out? How would I illustrate that? Google? No. No. Technology acting up. Anyway, and then piece of equipment. That help gets it. Tripod. I'm really going back to basics. This sounds dumb. I'm sorry. It sounds dumb, but composition and tripod, making sure that there's movement whenever I'm outside. You know, like there's a limb or something in the foreground, stuff like that. Anyway, if that's what you were looking for. It sounds dumb, but a stupid tripod, because I've invested in all of these lenses and cameras. And look, I got whatever that is right there. Atmos Ninja 5, don't even use it. All sorts of things that I don't even use. My light just burned out there in the background. It just, maybe this 120D, it's really helped out in the studio stuff, but I would say time and time again, the old tripod and knowing how to use my even old school camera. I don't use the new one anymore. What about you, Joshua? Are you back up and running yet?
For me, I am, yeah. The most helpful piece of equipment or system or process, the Adobe Creative Cloud. That is my answer. The Adobe Creative Cloud.
We'll explain it.
So the Adobe Creative Cloud, I've got Adobe Premiere Pro, Adobe Photoshop, After Effects, Lightroom, and Audition. And I use all of those all of the time. I love the Adobe, the way they make it is just so simple and stupid easy for me to learn and pick up on. Why? Because there's YouTube. Maybe YouTube would actually be the most powerful piece of equipment that I have. But what they do, there's so many tutorials out there. Like, here's an idea. Hey, while I got you guys, I'm just going to share this. I'm throwing my thinking process out the door. You can take this, you could run with it if you like the idea. But I had a thought of how could I do a different type of a video or a show that is just kind of fun. And I thought, what if, as pastors, there are often times that our congregation or other pastors, they say something and it's like, oh man, that would be a great video to vlog about. However, I want to respect their privacy and I don't want to talk about it.
Yep.
So I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start using all of those examples. but I will play them where I'm giving myself my own advice, and I'll just start to clone myself in a setting where I'm constantly giving myself advice.
It's clever. Brilliant.
Now, that being said, hey, the sun is here with coffee. That's not going to work. That's like empty.
Is that Logan?
That's what I told Mom. She's like, too bad.
Here, go put that in the Keurig or something. So the thing with the Adobe Creative Suite is it will allow me to do that stuff super easy. And Jared, you and I were just doing this before we even went live. I needed a thumbnail. And so it's like I needed a thumbnail really quick. And I copied my thumbnail. So I've got my thumbnail 2020 design. And actually, you know what? I could probably even show these people what I'm talking about.
Share
just so
screen.
they can see it.
Share screen. You're going to love this. You're going to love this because I've been taking notes off of this guy for the last several times we've gotten together. He'll be like, hey, let me just show you real quick how to do that.
So we'll pull up, here's Photoshop here real quick, and I'm going to open my recent, it's my 2020 thumbnail design that I'm rolling with. Adobe has this like palette over here that you can see. So I went to Adobe, and in like my project files, it allowed me to create a color palette to where these colors work with each other. So I just started using these. Yeah, go ahead and resolve that font. So I just started using these for all of them. But if I minimize these folders, here's essentially what I did. You can see down on the right here, I've got the Bible studies. So there's what the Bible studies are going to look like once I get them going. It's got the purple stuff. The live streams, because it's live, I decided to go with a little bit of a red on it. That might change.
Look at that handsome devil. Oh my.
Yeah. 3-Minute Thursdays, you can see I'm using the blue, and then I think it's actually this darker blue that's kind of faded in there. And then for the vlogs, it's using these two. And so they're all using this type of a color palette with the exception of the lives. And all I'm able to do is just kind of quick copy, edit, and I've got everything in here. So I just duplicate these files. This is so stinking simple and easy. And then even when I want to export it, the one thing about YouTube is YouTube wants like the highest resolution you can possibly get. So it's like, hey, they would like this image in 4K. But the problem with the 4K is they'll only accept 2 megabytes as far as a total file size. And so if I export this as a JPEG, are you tracking here? What it'll do is it shows you, here's what the export size is going to be. And if this was above that, I could just drop this percentage down to say 80% quality, and all of a sudden it's going to change the file size, and I'm underneath there, but I'm still keeping my 4K resolution on that thumbnail. So,
yeah.
So that's where I would
Just
sit there and say, no, don't
simple.
save any of those. That's where I would sit there and say that honestly, Adobe, the whole Creative Cloud is probably my biggest, most powerful tool. I use it all the time, and I've got so many different systems and presets that I've created in there. I start to do something, hotkeys, shortcuts, and so when I get in a groove as far as editing goes, man, it doesn't take me anything at all. It's quick. The problem I have is, well, then I'm always enhancing my edit, which then adds more. It's like, hey, I just saved an hour in editing. Let's add an extra hour by making this harder. However, now I'm able to clone myself if I want to give myself advice. True. I think that's a clever idea.
And make
what do you guys think about
elevator doors?
Anybody
else
elevator doors?
Yeah.
Seriously, guys, in the comments, what do you think about the idea of me giving pastoral advice to myself?
Do it. Wait, do I have to comment? Do it. Do it. I think it'd be hilarious. I think it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. I think it's great. I'm going to look back through some of these comments.
If you would, in the comments, does anybody else get lost? Jason, I'm sure you're up to date on all of the Photoshop stuff, but every time he opens it up, he's like, oh, look, it's just in this folder, and it's as simple as pie. You just click this over here, and you mask that out, and then you add the color to the background, and you bring the foreground up here, and then you pop this out, and I'm like, how do you open it?
Open what?
How
Say
you
that
open
again.
a new image? It's a way above my pay grade. Anybody else lost?
Doing all that stuff. Jason
Yeah,
says
yeah,
he's
yeah,
100% with me.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
He lives.
Of course
he
you are.
lives there in that state.
You live? Yeah.
That would be good. Okay, so
Any,
a life
any
devoted.
Canva folks out there? Canva.
You know, I'm actually going. I was thinking about trying to make some Canva thumbnail presets. I don't know how that would apply because I don't know if you can upload or import. I need to figure that out. If I could make my thumbnail design in Canva so people can have it and run with it. I like that idea.
Ooh.
I just don't know if it'll work.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I don't know. So, a life devoted says we should be preaching the gospel to ourselves, and the Bible should apply to us first. I think it's a great idea.
Oh yeah.
Aaron Polinati says, "Don't do it. That would be weird."
In reference to what? What are we doing?
No,
What are we not doing?
I think that would be weird. He's probably talking to me, giving myself pastoral advice. But I'm talking like cloning myself. So like if I'm sitting at a coffee shop or a kitchen table or a counter or something, and the camera is looking at me, talking to me on the other side. I'm talking like what was
Almost
that?
like a Peter McKinnon.
Yeah, like a Peter McKinnon thing. I was going to go even more old school than that and really date myself. It was the Parent Trap. Was that the one where she was twinning?
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah. And Diana says, yes, you can do that. Actuary.
It's very mathematical. Okay.
And she says, Canva is her jam. Keep it simple. Keep it nice.
Yeah.
Jason Mayfield says he just needs 2 assistants and then I could really make videos. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know.
Couldn't hand over the creative aspect,
I don't think
or what?
I could hand over the somebody would have to know what I'm thinking before I think it for me to do that. I just don't know if that's possible. Jason is saying Canva is harder for him.
What?
I agree. Canva is harder. To get Canva to do what Photoshop will do, for me, it takes 10 times as long because they don't have all the stuff. Now, I haven't done the new Canva like in the last few months. I know they've upgraded and they added a bunch of new things, so it might be easier. I really need to check it out and try it out just to see. But, yeah. So Henry's sitting here saying, I'd be interested to see exactly what advice you give yourself, especially on what topic. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. And then, of course, Andrew's saying, if it's going to get you to post more, make you happy, get after it. Diana saying it is a super clever idea and I should do it.
I'm going to go ahead and run a pool here, or perhaps a little friendly wager. But I think that he slaps his first, or at the latest, maybe his third client for humor's sake. The person that he's counseling. If you're going to clone yourself, I've seen you do it in too many videos now. If you're going to clone yourself, you know you're going to do it. You know you're going to reach across that table and just give them a hoppa.
The funny thing is,
that needs to be a segment.
I was thinking about this last night because I've got if you guys find me on Facebook, you can check facebook.com/ or / one of the slashes, Joshua Verwers, and I shared a link. It's to Developing Great Relationships, the organization where I've been working doing marriage ministry, and I created a little promo video for them. One of the videos we've got coming up is actually me cloning myself and giving myself a little bit of, marriage advice. And so as I'm editing that and working on it, I was like, oh, this could be really cool, especially as a way for me to take some of the advice that I'm giving people in real life. And these could be church members. And they're going to know it was them, but nobody else is going to know it was them. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where I'm able to take the lesson, what I'm telling them and what I'm sharing with them for a broader audience, because it's beneficial. And that's where people could get a benefit out of that. And I've thought that I don't know how many times where, whether it's like doing some discipleship or just some counseling, and it's like, man, if there were a camera here at this moment, this is some gold right here that, God is just pouring out, and I would love people to catch it. But because of the confidentiality aspect of it, it's like, yeah. But no, I actually had thought about something colliding with my head. We'll put it that way. So, yeah.
Needs to be a thing.
It's going to happen. So I think it's great. Diana thinks it's great. A nice pastoral slap.
Hey, just a love tap. A love tap, if you will.
Hedry's got the pulling the over under at 3.5 slaps.
Over under 3.5.
Yes.
Hey, he knows his sport, so he should know his stuff.
Andrew,
Mary did you know? Yes.
Slap, slap, slap.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. Speaking of using, wait, hold on. I think I missed something. I gotta go down here and catch this. You have to wear a backwards ball cap and pretend to be a younger and up and coming pastor. Yes, and speak using slang words for the hipsters, like, how do I not take a big L?
Have you seen
Broski? Yes. I love it. Have you seen the take on Gen Z? The youth pastor makes the videos, and he's like talking to a millennial audience, talking to a Gen Z audience. Have you seen that video? It's fairly popular. Maybe.
Sorry, it's kind of vague, but
you
would know it.
Who did it?
He's dressed in full attire. That's the part I can't remember. Otherwise, I'd point you straight to it. Anyway, he's dressed in full Gen Z attire, full millennial attire, depending on which audience which video he was making. And it needed subtitles. Like, I had no idea what he was saying. That was like the official moment where I was like, I can't relate anymore. Like, I'm swimming away. I have no idea what they were saying.
That's hilarious.
The big L. That
is hilarious. I'm going back through here, checking out some of the comments that we've ran through. I want to make sure I know I missed a bunch of them, guys. So I apologize if I didn't get it. Sonic is saying, coffee, grab a cup, and my camera, and go.
There you go.
That is the most powerful tool. Sonic wins it. Jason
system.
Mayfield, there is your answer. Coffee.
That's the system right there. Coffee and go.
Coffee and go.
Camera, go.
He just won. I love it.
That's the mic drop.
Yep, that was a good one. Jason saying that YouTube is the most powerful tool for YouTube. True. Broski, do you utilize any kind of LUTs pack while editing? Any suggestions? I do not. I don't use any LUTs currently. I think I had downloaded a free LUT once. No, actually I paid for it. I think I spent $20 on a LUTs pack. I can't even remember who it was. And I don't like color correcting or color grading. It's too much time. That being said, I probably will start doing it with some of the upcoming videos that I'm going to be doing.
Sure.
But I don't know if I'll be able to find a LUT necessarily that I like. I'm going to try to check some, and if not, I'll probably just create my own. Because that's the hard part, is it's trying to dial stuff in to where it looks pleasing to my eye. And that's the thing. It's like most of these videos, the edits that I choose, the style I choose, you guys are looking at these coffee beans right now behind JARROD and I. Why? Because I wanted it. It's like,
that's so true.
So that's part of the thing, is it's creating the stuff that I like. If I can find a LUT out there, maybe. But I'll tell you, I've looked at a lot of the people that they have, LUT presets and stuff like that. I haven't found one that's jumped out to me like, oh, I need that. So
man,
I'll
LUTs are dangerous.
Just play around with it. Yeah,
LUTs are dangerous. I try to stay away from them as much as I can because I'll find somebody's LUT, which I have in the past, and I'll be like, man, how do I get my footage to look like that? And I'll buy the LUT or download the free LUT or whatever it is, and I'll put it on my computer, throw it over top of my footage, try and dial it back, try and adjust the levels a little bit, and it never looks like that. Man, that's the whole thing about our discussion from earlier about Canon. That's why I get my Canon cameras to match as closely as possible, and then I go in and I do my own LUT, my own color grade over the top of it, which is fairly basic. I kind of have my own set thing, but if you shouldn't have to worry about.
Most of mine is not.
Canon.
I don't even do. Honestly, I don't do color grading ever. I think, like I said, I think I've done it once or twice. I do color correction occasionally, but rarely. I try to make sure that, especially with vlogs, because it's kind of quick turnover time, I want it to be as good when I press record, so I have to do as little with that afterwards. The only time I would really think about doing it is if there was like a certain mood or a look that I wanted to give, which is, I've talked about doing these Bible study videos. I'm waiting for my lens to show up. I'm hoping Amazon hurries. UPS has an hour to get me my lens before I start complaining. And once I've got that, I'm going to start recording them. So those, I've thought about doing some color grading on it, just to give it a better look, and because I'm going to try to take the production quality up an extra level. So I'm going to be using multiple camera angles, but using one camera. And so because it's different angles, I want to try to match them as well as possible. So I'll probably do something. But I haven't found a LUT pack out there that looks good enough. Not that they're not good by any means. Great. I mean, it's like I've seen Peter McKinnon's LUT pack. I've seen Matty Hapoya's, and then who was there was another.
It's making them work with your footage, man. Every time.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. It's part of those. A lot of those LUTs that I've seen, it's those guys putting it on Canon equipment. And now that I'm over on Sony, I need to find some Sony stuff, and I've not looked at it. So I'm going to look and see if I can find some stuff that will work. Because if I can find a LUT that's already there, I'll do it. The thing, and here's the one thing I will notice that I've seen with a lot of LUTs is people, they leave the saturation where it's at, or they don't desaturate the LUT enough. And they need to lower it a little bit more. To me, that LUT, that color is supposed to add just a little. And often it's adding too much. It becomes way too distracting. And so that's the thing. It's like, I've got these colored lights back here, but you probably at some point forgot about those being colored back there because they're just subtle in the background. It's like I'm popping here, and that's kind of for me, a LUT. It's supposed to be that subtleness that does it. I mean, it's the same thing like when we do the wide shot of Jared. I sit there and look, wide shot of Jared, and he's got that orange in the background. And it's subtle. And apparently Jared froze on us. There, he's glitching. He's there. Is he there? Is he here? Is he there? Is he here?
Where am I?
Anyways, there we go. So for LUTs, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Andrew saying that he thinks that Trey reviewed a Gen Z video. Oh, yeah, that was the Sunday Cool one. Teas.
That sounds...
Yeah, Sunday Cool Teas. It was Carl. He was the one on it. That could be the one. We'll have to figure out if that's the one or not. If that's it, then yes, I should check it out. So, Jason Mayfield saying, "Gotta roll. Kids must be picked up." And Redix in the house. Long time no speak. How you doing, brother? Redix, we are doing great. We are doing great. Hey, you guys want to catch out a great gaming channel? Go over and check out Redix. You need to see it. The guy is killing it over there on YouTube. I'm loving it. I get the notifications all the time, and when I'm getting them, I am often just busy. No, I said Redix, not Redrix. But when Yeah, when I'm doing that, I get the
Or
notifications. I'll pop in for a few minutes, check out what he's doing, and then I usually hop out before too long. Because it seems like every time he's streaming, I'm driving in the car, and I don't want to be doing too much of that. But yeah, so you guys should go check him out. That's what you should do. Absolutely, I agree with myself. Why? Because I can.
Cover.
The what, Zoeha?
Have we covered the main thing being the main thing?
I think we might have covered the main thing being the main thing. I think we did a pretty good job of main thing is the main thing. So in all of that stuff,
Main thing.
hey, you know what? I'm going to pull this back to Broski's question about LUTs. Should you use LUTs? Do I have any thoughts or opinions on LUTs? I do have a thought and opinion on LUTs. If it helps the main thing stay the main thing, then do the main thing. But if it does not, keep focused on the main thing, we'll get rid of that thing.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, there we go. That's what my thoughts is. So, hey, guys, we have been on here for a long, long time. I don't even know where I find out how long, but it's been a while. Wait, there it is.
It's been a while.
I just saw it. We have been on for an hour and 30 minutes. I guarantee none of you stuck around for an hour and 30 minutes, except for Jared. Jared, thank you for being a trooper. Thank you for being here with me.
Hey, dude, this is fun. And when it's not fun, we won't do it anymore, like you said.
Exactly, because I just do what I want.
Hey.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. But hey, by the way, guys, if you're watching this, if you happen to be on a replay of this, or even if you're still with us live and you're kind of catching this, if there's some type of a theme, a topic, a discussion that you would like the vlog pastors, Jared Brown and Joshua Verwers to discuss, let us know. You can catch us all. We got a couple links right here somewhere down below. You can catch us on Instagram. We're both pretty active over there. Jared, you need to get more active. Bring back Mavic Mondays.
Dude, I need to. I need to. I'm
Mavic
on it.
Mondays. Do it.
Okay.
Right now.
I'm in.
Head outside.
Yep.
Do a few Mavic boomerangs, and then you can upload them to post.
Yep. I'm in.
Use an app
I'm
like
ready.
Later. There you go. Later.com. You can schedule them for a month out. That way you don't miss me. Later.com. There's a free little tidbit, a freebie for everybody. Later.com. You can schedule up to, I believe, 30 posts for free on a variety of different platforms. Maybe even more than that, because I think it lets you do Twitter at 50. And this video has not been sponsored by Later. However, if you work for Later.com and you would like me to sponsor it,
call me. Right.
So, no, I love it. And Diana would agree with me. I guarantee Diana agrees with me because she just said it. Later is dope. So.
All right, I got to get with the program. I'm coming.
There you be.
Later.
There you be. All right, guys. That's all I've got. Jared, have you got anything else for these lovely people that have been listening to us for the last hour and a half?
Not really. I hope that in some way, Joshua and I have helped you to taste and see the extravagant love of God.
There you be. And until next time, stay blessed. Enjoy God's best. And we'll see you then. All right. Now I need to figure out, how do I stop this stream?
Oh, man.
It's like I'm going to sit here and I'm going to leave it streaming so I can at least see myself over on the